Firstly, even though COVID's by and large past, I think it's the overhang of COVID still lies and exists around us. And by that, I mean, particularly I find in New Zealand at the moment, I feel like the workforce is fatigued. And I think that there's a real role of leaders to sort of bring energy to a fatigued workforce and ultimately get people to become more productive again. And it's something that, we're really focusing on. And I think is or becomes more of a responsibility of leadership than it's ever been before in the aftermath of COVID. I think secondly, and again, looking at learnings post-COVID, we, from a New Zealand perspective, we've had over 50% turnover of staff over the last 18 months. And what that's really shone a light of is that we've got a lack of institutional capability. And by that, I mean, when people are leaving our walls, they're taking with them pretty critical intellectual property that's critical to us for running our operations and our business. There's a role of leadership and of management to really codify, I suppose, or systemize what we do in a way that it's probably never been called upon before because, we haven't had that level of turnover, certainly not in my time. And then the final one, as I think about current challenges, is this, it's pretty simple, but this idea of really communicating with frontline. I find more and more that there's this disconnect that exists between what you sort of think you're doing and you're talking about with your immediate team and perhaps 2 to 3 levels below that, and then what the front line of the organization perceive. And I think that's really critical to properly unlocking kind of transformational performance is working out how you truly communicate with your frontline staff and provide them with a greater sense and a greater level of purpose than perhaps they have today. And certainly a greater sense of kind of the role that they play as it relates to executing strategy.